This video is to show how I replaced the old design of Pedego battery sleeve with one of the new design. The noise you will hear is the sound of the battery rattling on my daughter's Pedego equipped with the old design. The battery sleeve is a plastic box that holds the battery in place on the baggage rack. The rattling sound has one of two causes. Her e-bike is equipped with the old style of sleeve and one of the posts is cracked. This is the sound of the battery box before being replaced. This is a picture of a cracked post on my daughter's Pedego. This is a picture of my own Pedego showing the badly damaged post. This is a picture showing the posts of the two types of sleeves. The old sleeve on the left has pressed-in nuts, whereas the sleeve on the right, the new sleeve, has a hole drilled right through each post. This clip shows the inside of the sleeve showing one of the holes and the indented hexagonal weld to secure a regular nut. Pedego has discontinued the old style of sleeve in favor of the new bolted-through design. The new design has solved the problem of the battery rattling. I ordered the new sleeve from my Pedego dealer in Ottawa. Since my dealer wasn't going to place an order from Pedego in the near future, I had to pay the shipping cost, $50, in addition to the cost of the sleeve, $80, for a total of $150 including the taxes. From my experience, I know that because the battery was rattling and there was a cracked sleeve post, it was well worth the cost to prevent potential damage to the bike. I'm not saying that what I'm going to show you is the only way to do the installation, nor is it necessarily the correct way. It's just the way I did it. First, remove the saddle. Remove the front cover of the sleeve. Remove the controller. Unscrew the 8 tiny Phillips screws that hold the top and bottom parts together. The 2 screws at the rear are real buggers to remove because the down tube of the battery rack will be in the way of your screwdriver. It would help if you can find a screwdriver with a 7-inch shank because the screwdriver handle touches the down tube, which prevents you from aligning the screwdriver with the screw head. The cross-shaped depression in the screw head is very large in relation to the diameter of the head, as you can see in the following photo. So even if the screw is small, you need a large screwdriver. Another difficulty is that the guide holes in the bottom part of the sleeve are not perfectly aligned with the screws, so you need a screwdriver with a small diameter shank to align it with the screw head. But then, because the screwdriver tip is too small for the screw's cross-shaped depression, it tends to skip. Eventually, I was able to get the 8 screws out. After you've removed the 8 screws, slide the top of the sleeve out of the battery rack. Now identify all your wire connections very carefully. Pull the wiring harness out of the sleeve. Next, remove the lock. Simply remove the 2 screws that you accessed from the inside of the bottom section of the sleeve. The last step is to remove the 4 bolts that hold the sleeve to the battery rack crossbars. Now the bottom part of the sleeve is free and it can be discarded. Here you can see the bottom of the bottom section of the sleeve. You can see some of the pillars, and you can tell that they don't contain a pressed-in nut. They have a hole that's drilled right through, and you can see some of the mounting hardware there. First, we will clean the crossbars with a solvent of some kind. Next, we're going to glue the stainless steel washers to the crossbars. Next, we place the 4 nuts in the hexagonal wells. Next, we will slide the bottom part of the sleeve through the back end. Then we screw it in place with the use of the 4 bolts. Next step is to pull the wiring harness back into the box through the bottom hole. Now we will connect the controller by connecting each of the appropriate wires together. Now, before we forget, we're going to screw the lock into place. Now we place the battery pin connectors into their slot, like this. Now I had a problem. The battery pin harness was too high, preventing the top section of the battery sleeve from getting past the top of it. So a little bit of grinding was necessary. This picture shows the slot for the battery pin harness, which has been ground to the right height. Next is to attach the top part of the battery sleeve to the bottom part. 8 Phillips screws came with the new battery sleeve. Screwing these turned out to be a major task that took me half a day. I tried 7 different screwdrivers and none would work adequately. I would advise anyone doing this job to throw out those screws and buy 8 Robertson screws instead. After getting a number of screws in place, I turned the bike upside down and finished the job that way. After the top section is secured, tuck the controller into position. Finally, screw the controller cover into place with the 4 slotted screws that were supplied with the kit. At last, Natalie can ride an e-bike without any rattling sound from the battery. If you'd like to follow my adventures, check my website www.robertberrio.com. Thank you for watching.